I wanted to start with just a little bit of a PowerPoint presentation explaining a little bit more about Geoscience World. And I will then we'll go into a demo of the site and show you some of the key features and how you can help your researchers conduct research on Geoscience World. So Geoscience World is enjoying its 20th year. This is our 20th anniversary in 2024. We are a nonprofit, so we're a little bit different than other publishers that you might work with because we have a mission and a vision to really be a partner with our society publishers to make sure that they can stay around, that they can publish independently, and that we give a platform for all of the different geoscience disciplines to have an opportunity to come together and publish in one place. This is me again. I'm Lauren Comey. I'm the Director of Sales, Fulfillment, and Customer Service. My email is comey@geoscienceworld.org. You are welcome to reach out to me at any time. We are a small but mighty staff, so you don't hesitate to reach out for me. I handle all customer service. I handle sales. If you fill out a form on the site, you get me. So I'm very familiar with all of the universities, and I'm very familiar with helping you and assisting you. So please don't hesitate to reach out. I've been with Geoscience World for 11 years now, so a little bit more than half of the time that it's been in existence. So just sort of as a way of introduction, I'm curious how familiar you may be with Geoscience World. You can feel free to chat and answer if you feel comfortable, which university you're joining us from. And when we're thinking about your researcher needs, where do they like to start? Do they start, in the library? Are they doing searches? Are they using the discovery services? And are there any platform tools either on Geoscience World or another platform that you might find helpful? So please feel free to go ahead and chat and answer if you're comfortable doing so. And we'll come back to it a little bit later and see if there's any kind of research needs we can address when I'm demoing the site for you. So our goal at Geoscience World, the kind of watchword that we've been using as we're in our 20th year, is really to be the essential resource in the geosciences. And what that means to us, on the right side of the screen, you can kind of see kind of who we are. What is GSW? So we have over 215,000 full text articles. We have over 50 plus journals that you get in your journal subscription. We also have a books product, as well as we have 40 global partners, society partners, and over 2,400 books at this point in our books collection, which is cross-searchable and integrated with the journals. And what being the essential resource in the geosciences really means to us is making the job easier for the librarians. When a student or a faculty member is looking for information on the geosciences, we really want to be the resource that you think of first. This is the only area in which we have content. So we're a very focused but multidisciplinary product in the geosciences. So across the geosciences, we don't publish in the biological fields or anything like that. This is our focus. We want users to be able to find the peer-reviewed, high-quality content that they need quickly and efficiently, and we strive to do that. We also want to have the support for deeper research. So if a researcher on the graduate level or beyond is looking to really use the tools and the search functionality to get a cross-section of everything that might be available on the topic that they're researching, we want to be there to support in our tools and our platform. We want to make citing the sources easier. So we have a citation manager to be able to cite the source, download those into the common citing softwares, and be able to use the search functionality again to build bibliographic depth. We work with all the major discovery services to provide up-to-date KBART and MARC records. And, overpinning everything is really this support for independent scholarly publishing in the geosciences. When we add content to Geoscience World, particularly in journals or in books, It goes through a rigorous review process with an independent review body of our board. So we have the opportunity to do, we're not going to be putting content on Geoscience World that doesn't add value to the research. Kind of a look at our breadth of content when we see journals across the bottom and the books across the top. These are just some of the very, very common fields of study in the geosciences, and you can see that we're very evenly distributed across a very large portion of the geoscience content. So our journals that you subscribe to, these again are over 50 journals with more than 215,000 articles. They're integrated with GRF, and one of the things that Monica, I think you asked me to cover is GRF, and I will discuss that in depth. When you have a Geoscience World subscription, you also have a GRF subscription. They go hand in hand. GRF is integrated into the search functionality on the site and adds a whole nother layer because you're able to not only search geoscience content, you're able to search content that you might find on other platforms related to the search that you're doing. The vast majority of our journals are ranked in the Web of Science Journal Citation Report. You also have access to our archive collection. So that is part of when you subscribe to the journals, the archive, which is prior to 2000, is part of that collection. And again, we do add new content after a rigorous review period all the time. I think our two most recent are the Journal of Geology that we're focusing on here, and also the Journal of the Geological Society of India, which is their flagship journal. As I mentioned, we have books. Books are a separate purchase. They're not part of the subscription, but I just wanted to kind of show a little bit about them. They are a perpetual access purchase with no ongoing hosting fees. As of 2000, they're cross-searchable with our journals and our GRF records. And again, many of our publishers that publish our journals also publish books with us, but we have some that are unique to books. So we have a little bit of everything in there. And the books are kind of a great thing to consider because they're very, very flexible. You can purchase as, almost as few books as you need, like at least 20 books, and we can build all kinds of packages. So we sell them in a very set, like yearly package, but we have the flexibility to sell by subject, do a curated, do a pick and choose. So the books are fully integrated and on the platform. When I demo the platform, we'll take a look at both the books and the journals. And then we have GRF. So the GRF database has literally millions of records in it. It's the most comprehensive abstracting and indexing database in the geosciences. So it's really going to, again, use the thesaurus and the search terms to build the most relevant, high quality content. And it's fully integrated with Geoscience World. So you'll see that it's on the platform. You can look at it separately, but it's so integrated that I think you will most likely find it the most valuable to look at it together. And it also drives all of our faceted search. So you can search by subject, geographic, and time-based terms. And then just to look at our platform, I think this is best seen sort of demonstrated on the platform itself. One of the things I will show you is OpenGeoSci, which is our map-based search tool. That gives you the ability to search geographically by latitude and longitude, and then go directly from the map to the content that's linking there. I mentioned Citation Manager. We do have IP and shibboleth access, so we're able to, I think, pretty seamlessly get users to the content. We participate with over 15 federations. I'll talk a little bit about when I demo the site with our split screen view. And then we also have a really great tab structure that's part of that split screen view that shows references and related links on the right-hand side. For librarians, we're Section 508 and W3C compliant in terms of accessibility. Counter 5 and sushi reporting we offer. We're about to switch to Counter 5.1 here by the end of the year, participating again with over 15 federations for shibboleth access. We've very recently added the ability to update your IPs via IP registry. So if you participate with IP registry, you can now put your IP updates into there, and that will also apply to your Geoscience World content. We like to say we provide personal customer service, so that's me. And also we participate with all of the major discovery services so that users can again get to it very quickly. Okay, so this is the homepage of Geoscience World. You can see here that we're talking about some features that we just added to OpenGeoSci, which I will show you. And again, also sharing our 20th anniversary information. There's a really great video. If you are in the geosciences or passionate about the geosciences, it talks a lot about the founding and also the importance of the geosciences, in our world 20 years ago to now. So it's worth a look if you have a couple of minutes. It's on our YouTube channel. But across the top here is the easy way to navigate. If you know exactly that you want to go into the journals or to the books or to GeoRef, this is where you can navigate it across the top. We have advanced search here and quick search. So this little box is what we call quick search. And this advanced search links takes you to a page where you can do some more advanced searching. And I'll show you that as well. I'll call your attention over here to the top right corner. If you have access to Geoscience World, then you would see your university name there. If you have set up a registered user account, so a personal account, or if one of your researchers has, they would see their name there. And the use of that really allows you an opportunity to save searches and set up alerts for content that you're interested in. So ideally, you would see your university name here, and you could set up a personal account to keep track of those things. So when you look at the journals, this is our journals homepage. This gives you the opportunity to browse by title if you know exactly which one of the many journals on Geoscience World you want to go to and look at. You can browse by the title here. There's also the ability to browse by the publisher. So you can break it down if you know that you want to look at a certain publisher's content. You can do that as well. Same with books. You have the ability to browse all the books, or again, to browse by our publishers that have books. This is a little bit more information about GeoRef. So if you're unfamiliar with GeoRef, again, it is a millions of record database. They add over 100,000 references a year. GeoRef does index everything across the geosciences. So it's going to go our content as well as anybody else who publishes in the geosciences. And it covers all the way back to 1666. So it's a really valuable tool with the controlled vocabulary terms. They're going to go in and create records for the content, for our content and other content. And it's a great way to build an overall, bibliographic view of a topic. Down here at the bottom, you can see some of the major terms that GeoRef uses. So you can go from this page directly to content related, for instance, to fossils, and then narrow the subject term even further under fossils to all of these different terms. So that's really what GeoRef is going to bring to the site as sort of its standalone. You can also search by geographic terms, subject terms, and geological time terms, and go directly to those thesaurus terms from this GeoRef link up here. We have a page again about our publishers. We have a link to OpenGeoSci. So this link can take you right to the map-based tool, which will load here for you. It's loading all of our content right now, so you'll see that it'll take a second to load, and you can go directly to OpenGeoSci from this link, or you'll see that it's integrated into the advanced search page. So I'll show you some more details about that when we execute a search. This is where you would find your citation manager so that you can add something to citation manager and then download that from this page. And of course, we have the help page with information for librarians and for members and for publishers. So I'll go ahead and show that in a little bit as well. If we go back to the main page and we're going to execute just a quick search for a term such as carbon, you're going to see that that's going to bring up quite a few search results here. Down this left rail, you'll see the search result and you'll see the ability to filter and facet it. You can add another term directly here in quick search, or you can limit it by the format that you want. So if you have a journal subscription and you only want to look at the journal content, you can limit that here. You can limit it by the research type that's been categorized by the publisher. You can limit it further by the journal, and you'll see that these numbers in the brackets after are kind of indicating some quantities related to each one of the publishers or any other of the search terms. You can narrow it by publisher, by journal, by section. And then here again, you'll see the GRF subjects popping up so that you can limit even further by using those. And you'll see a lot of subcategories as well. Continuing down, you'll see the larger categories that we saw depicted on the GRF page, and then some ability to limit by era and period or epoch and age. You can also limit by book series, as the publishers have published in books, by date range. And again, we have content with GRF going back to 1666. So you can limit by the date range and also by the availability of the content. When you're looking at an item that you're searching for, you're going to see that a green check mark will indicate access to that particular content. So that's a really quick, easy visual way to know that you're going to have the full text content available for it. So we're going into a journal article. You'll see the title, the green check mark indicating that you have access. Some general information will show up on this first page, as well as a little bit of a start of the abstract. And you'll be able to see that the figures and tables are going to show here as little thumbnails. You'll have the ability to go to the article either by going to the PDF or by clicking on the title itself. But this is like a quick glance. You can get an idea. Is this, kind of what I'm looking for? So you can go then to the journal article directly here. This is a journal article page. So you will see this split screen view that we kind of talked about before on the slide. On the left side will be the complete text for the article itself, so it can be read online this way. On the right-hand side will be the figures and tables, and you can scroll through the figures and tables separately, read a little bit about them. You can also view them larger and download the slide. So obviously citing properly, but you can download the slides. You can download the images to put into a PowerPoint presentation, to put into a poster if you're presenting a poster at a conference. So all of these can be scrolled separately, viewed large, and downloaded as well. And then you'll continue to see that you've got the full text with all of the links to those information in here. Up here, we'll tell you a little bit more about the article. It's a research article. When it was published, you've got some information about the authors themselves, which you can expand and see the affiliation of the authors. You'll see some information about where it's published in GSA Bulletin, the DOI, and the article history as well. And then you can, if you need to, click to standard view, and that will just go to the full page. And you can go toggle back and forth between standard view and split screen view. And you can also go directly to the PDF. So you can go to the PDF from here and be able to open the PDF and download it for your use. So all of that's going to occur sort of on this journal article page, as well as just some standard things such as citing it, sharing it, and getting permissions information. Across here, you'll see that this is a little bit more information on GSA Bulletin itself. So this is the article page for it, but you can go into the archive for any one of the journals from this page and go directly to a volume and issue if you know the volume and issue that you want to go to. You can also see a little bit more about the content for that publisher, what other publications they have, and themed issues as well. So all of that's available on this top part where we're kind of defining the publisher. Going back to the quick search, you'll see that we quick searched and we ended up on a GSA bulletin article, but you can also go search again to all content by the society or in the particular journal article itself. I'll pause there a second and just see if there's any questions so far. So this side here is the tab reference again that we were talking about. So the data and the figures and tables will be on the first tab. This is a way to easily look through the contents of that particular issue. These are your GRF index term and descriptors popping back up again with the latitude and longitude and the ability to go to the full GRF record. So you can go right back and forth between the GRF record and the article itself from that tab. You'll see references listed here as well with links and also related content. So you'll view related content on Geoscience World, here journals content, book content as well. And then there will be some recommendations made by different recommending software that we use to be able to guide you directly to more information about the same topic. So take us back here to sort of our search results, because the one thing that I want to share with the search results, so this is again our search. We're going to limit by our journal article, look at journal articles first, and then we can view those results on the map. So this is again where OpenGeoSci, our map-based search, will link into it. You'll be able to see the search results that you executed as a quick search for carbon showing up here again in a map-based way. You can kind of blow in and look at a particular area, either by dragging it or by using the plus or minus. You can look at it as a terrain or a satellite view. So if you sort of cue in here, and then you can find an article, an area of the map rather, and limit the results to the part of the map that you have highlighted. So you're going to be able to continue to drill down in a very, very geographic latitude and longitude way. And then even further to looking at these pin drops. And within the pin drops, you will see that you have the link directly to the content. So that will link you to content on Geoscience World. And you can go right from the map, right to the full text content again, to the PDF. You're back on an article page here with all of the details that it included directly from this map-based search. So you can continue to go down really, really small. I was demoing a couple of weeks ago, and we were drilling down to like literally a community and looking to see what kind of content we had on that community. So you have that in the map, and then it again will be listed down here below. And again, you'll have the facets and all of the ability to limit your search on the left rail while you're on OpenGeoSci. So it's really it's really a fun one to play with too, because you can, as you can imagine, just get very, very specific with what you're looking for. And then look across similar latitudes and longitudes and blow it out and sort of look and see, okay, where are we seeing similar trends in the research across similar latitude and longitude? So that's all executed from quick search, which is this sort of little box we have up here. We also have advanced search. So with advanced search, you're going to be able to do a lot of the same functionality, but you're going to be doing it more directly from the page. You'll be able to limit the results again. You'll be able to use OpenGeoSci directly from this advanced search page. You can also add many, many terms here and change what the term is. So it's going to default to title, but you will also be able to select any of these filters all the way down through the GRF key, just GRF descriptors, keywords, the book series, the volume, the affiliation, which is a great one if you're looking for like affiliated authors. You can do all of that here and execute any form of that search. Again, you can limit by what type of content, so journal, book, or GRF. You can also draw just like a bounding coordinate on the map itself here, and that'll be reflected then in the latitude and longitude. You can limit by the date range in the publication again, and execute all of this within the advanced search page. So the advanced search page is a great place to start, a really specific search that you want to be able to drill down exactly to, maybe a couple of different terms, and build that out. So you can do that here. That's all executed on the advanced search page. So the quick search and the advanced search will function very similarly. Once you sort of have your handle on one, you'll be able to execute the search either way. It's just a different level of how you want to, if you want to get there quickly, basically, or you want to do a little bit more of the filtering and the facets to get to just very specifically the information that you're interested in. When you are back here on this article page, you have the ability to add it to your citation manager. So citation manager is something that we were talking about before. Once you add it to there, you'll see that when you go into your citation manager, that citation will appear. It does need to be downloaded from within a session, but you can download it directly into any one of these citation formats. And so that makes it really easy to cite anything that you're going to find on Geoscience World. I do want to show you as well when we go back to just a very quick search on our very broad term of carbon, that you can also see that when you go to the GeoRef records, that you will see that we have content that you can link to from other areas where you may hold geoscience content. So because GeoRef has all of the records, you're able to go directly to those links as well. And if you have access to that, you can get to that content. So it's not just going to be limited to what is available on Geoscience World. You're going to, again, be able to build like this huge depth and breadth of the knowledge across all of the terms that you're looking for, or the subject matter that you're researching. See a chat. Let me stop my share a second and take a peek. Yes, Ben, you can download multiple citations at once. So all you need to do is add them all from within one session, and then you'll go ahead and just download the entire set that you have done. Okay, great. So I'll go back here and share again because I want to show you. You're welcome. Thank you for the question. So I'll go back to here and go back into sort of this part of the site that we were looking at, which is this registered user part. So this, not only can you download the citations here, but you're going to be able to set up alerts. You and your researchers would be able to set up an alert. So it can be a latest issue alert. It can be a subject alert once you've done a subject search. And that can all be managed from here. Also, searches can be saved. So there's my search of carbon, and I can choose whether or not I want to have an email alert that will go ahead and tell me when, something is coming new onto the site from those. So those are the two biggest things that you can do here for when you set up it, when you set up a personal user account. I'll go a little bit to our Librarian Resource Center. So our Librarian Resource Center is where you can really manage your accounts a little bit. So again, you can pull counter reports from here. We are on counter 5 right now. We'll be on counter 5.1 shortly. We still have counter 4 for a short while yet. They're going to sunset that availability. So if you feel the need to pull down counter 4 reports, that would be a good thing to do sooner rather than later. But you can also go to the MARC records for the books that we have from the librarian page. This is all the MARC records. You can download KBART files. You can download our journals KBART file here. And again, we do provide those to the Discovery Services, but should you need to download it, you can. You can go here to some video tutorials as well as our title lists and any samples of our license agreements, as well as kind of find a little bit more about our social media and following us on our social media. one companion site to Geoscience World itself is what we call our community site. So this is community.geoscienceworld.org. So it's a slightly different URL, but you can go back and forth between the two. You can see here that you can go back to the research platform from here. But this is a nice resource for librarians because really what you're looking at here is the ability to sign up for the newsletter, also go directly to some information about Geoscience World that can be shared, some videos again about how to use OpenGeoSci, a little bit more information about Geoscience World and our partners can all be done here, as well as some account management tools and the benefits of that. We do publish one journal, which is Lithosphere, which is an open access journal. So there's information that you just saw pop up as we run special issues on that. We do have our own journal. This also leads you to some general information. This is where you can watch the 20th anniversary video. We have some more information about our staff, our board of directors, but I would call your attention to this news and resources page, which is a great place to learn a little bit more about what's new on Geoscience World. See that we just, added some new staff, but also takes you to blog posts and resources. So down here in the resources, you can access brochures. You can look at the newsletters. You can learn a little bit more about the new content that we're adding. And we do also have our own little geoscience version of the Wordle game, which you can play. I understand it's not for the faint of heart. You have to have a little bit of geoscience knowledge. I think Phoebe, our CEO, plays it more than any of the rest of us, but we have that as well. And you can download digital signage here. So if you have, video screens in the library or in the geoscience departments, and you really want the students and the faculty to learn a little bit more about the resource, you can do that here as well. And just it's kind of a great place to sort of keep up with what's going on in Geoscience World. So I would recommend it, and I would recommend signing up for the newsletter because the librarian newsletter really helps to show, what we're working on, what definitely new content, definitely new platform tools. We are very happy to really hear from users at any time about the platform itself. We'd love to learn a little bit more. That's kind of what I was asking about, in terms of research tools. We understand the value of OpenGeoSci, but we also want to know where we can improve a little bit and where we can really find a way to, if it's content, if it's tools, if it's something that you've seen elsewhere that's really great, we really would love to. We're always improving the platform. 2024 was called the year of the platform for us, so we've done a lot of work on it. We've done work on article pages and on our different tools. I will show you the books for a minute, just because I don't know if we had an opportunity to really show them, but the books are going to function very much, again, like the journal article page. You're going to have the ability to go into the book itself, go into the chapters, and these are, again, cross-searchable. So you'll see that you'll have different publishers, and you can go into the page here. This is an introduction. So this is, again, it's going to look a lot like our article page, but this is going to be a book chapter. So it's going to similarly have the author information, have that same split screen view with the figures in the tables down the right and the abstract down the left. So you do have the ability to look at the books as well, completely cross-searchable with the journals. It's about, Web of Science and Scopus, right? So our content is indexed in Web of Science and Scopus. So if that's the research tools where your students and your faculty are starting, they're going to be able to link over here. And if there's ever anything we can do to help you with that, if there's ever any questions about the way that the content is in there, Geoscience World is unique because we are an aggregation, so we do pull together all of the different content. So it's important when you're looking at these discovery tools that geoscience world as a whole is being pulled in and not, for instance, individual publishers, because you want to be able to get to that. We have all of the journals available and get them all where they can link together for students. I've seen this in person. I actually have two college students as my own kids, and so I'm all the time like bothering them to show me how they're searching and how they're getting to things. And I think it's really interesting. That's one of the reasons why I ask this questions, because I think that the more that we can learn about their behavior and how they're finding the content, especially online, the better we can be prepared to make sure they're getting directly to us. Any other questions? Yes, Ben. Yes.
Yeah, don't mind. I'll mute for this. So a slightly complex question. I don't know if it's one you'll be able to answer, Lauren, but just interested to ask. This seems like a great resource, and it seems to function like a lot of databases, that I've seen. The fact, excuse me, that it has both simple and advanced search features and browsing functions as well. What I'm wondering is, do you have you heard anything to suggest it's good to show students at a particular level? I mean, do you think it's an equally good source to show, say, a group of first year college students who might not be used to searching, or would it be better to introduce to students at a more advanced stage of their program,
Mm.
or is that yeah?
Yeah, that's a great question. Thank you. I think a lot of the content is higher level, so we do sort of understand that it's not going to be for someone who's just sort of dabbling in geology, but that's the content. Now, what I would say for the tool, and again, I know that there's a lot of times that librarians are attempting to teach first year students how tools work. So from that standpoint, I think it's an excellent way, because I feel like it's a fairly easy and manageable site to sort of show, and again, to really help them understand, how are you getting to this peer-reviewed content? How are you using the tools? So it's actually something that we're working on, and I would love your feedback on. We're working on sort of developing a little bit of a presentation tool for librarians to use using Geoscience World to teach how to execute science research in an accurate way and find sources that are are going to be academic sources. So we do view it as a tool that certainly can be used by anybody. And I think the expansion of our content, we do have more, and we have some seminal books on geology that certainly someone teaching geology as an elective, we call it elective here, like just a general knowledge class, would certainly still find content that would be valuable to them, because you are looking at some of the really basic level seminal works in the geosciences that we have. So I say both, and I would really love your thought. If you have tools that other sites have developed, because we are actively, developing ours right now, and we're kind of trying to decide like what is the easiest way to work with it. But again, I'm leaning on my own knowledge of watching professors needing to and librarians needing to teach students how to execute research, and we do think it would be a great way to do that.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's great to hear. Yeah, I j just asked because I do know students sometimes get confused, on using certain databases. I mean, I think as you just have to explain some of the headings like GeoRef and Open Geoscience. What they'd expect to find under those links, what they mean, and so on.
Yes, yes. I mean, I think GeoRef, it's interesting. GeoRef is such a valuable tool to geoscientists, and the geoscientists that use it really value it. But yes, it's a little bit of a jump for someone who might be just used to using Google Scholar and going directly from Google Scholar directly to content. So we certainly see that behavior on the site. That's not surprising, but what they may not realize is that underpinning that is GeoRef. So GeoRef is there to provide all of these ways to integrate and to search. So They may not be realizing that they're using gref when they see it as its own sort of standalone, but they in fact are, because that's what's getting them from Google Scholar to the right content on Geoscience World when they're searching. So yeah, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. One thing I'd like to see a little more of is searching using the thesaurus terms in there, because that's something I show to more, again, to graduate level students, and so on, the controlled vocabulary. So just seeing those
Yes.
integrated into a search would be brilliant.
Sure, sure, yes. So I'll go to the advanced search page. So right, so you're going to have the GRF categories down here that you can execute from directly from the advanced search page. So if we come back up and we put our broad term in up here again, with looking at the titles, you can also do a keyword descriptor. So if we made the GRF descriptor carbon and looked instead of title and executed it that way, you'll see that you're going to bring up, the content in a slightly different way. And then when you go to that content there, you'll be able to go into this GRF tab and add these index terms and descriptors directly to the search that you're looking at. So it may be methane, might be where you're going to go with that. And so you can see that these index terms and descriptors are going to apply to this particular piece of content. So you can then add that on when you're in the advanced search section here, and then come down here and add in, well, so these are going to be your bigger ones. So let's add in igneous and metamorphic pedrology here and search that way. You're going to get to a different one. And from there, again, the articles are going to show these keyword descriptors as well again. So these are the descriptors that apply to it. So if you wanted to then search directly by, say, methane, if we go back to looking at that, if you go back to OpenGeoSci, I'm sorry, back to GeoRef rather. So if you go back to GeoRef, then you can go down here and look under those specific subject terms and drill down into like the major terms. So you go to the primary terms and back and forth between the two. You have the subject terms there, or you have the geographic terms. And again, under each one of them, you could search by a certain area and see and narrow the terms. The narrower terms you'll see over here as well. So you can go right down into that from this, just keep narrowing based on the thesaurus down to very, very specific content. So I think if you wanted to execute the search that way, you probably would want to start from GeoRef, and start with those, the different sub thesaurus terms directly there. And you can even search, again, by the geological time terms and narrow from within there and get really, really specific. With the depth of the GeoRef thesaurus, you could really get, very, very specific, and then go down here and even look under here and see where under the GeoRef subject where you're seeing these additional terms. You could really get, super specific with that by doing it that way. Does that help? I hope.
Yes, it does, Lawrence.
Okay. Okay.
Sorry about that. I couldn't unmute
That's
myself, but
no, that's
yeah,
okay.
yeah, no, but no, that is really good. Yeah, I mean, just just the fact that these thesaurus terms are so good, the fact that that they're kind of a direct route to practically all results that refer to a particular concept in one way or another.
Yes, yes, absolutely. I mean, I think it's it's going to be the best way for somebody who really knows what they're doing to get to exactly the content that they're looking for very, very quickly.
Yeah.
And then, of course, obviously the broader, right? You can do the broader when you're just looking sort of if you just want to look at these very broad terms and go from there, and then they just keep going and going and going, to the depth that you need. Literally, I picked soils when I said depth, but anyway, I really appreciate you taking the time. We're very passionate about geoscience world. We do really, want to work with the institutions and with the universities. Please, again, don't hesitate. If you have a question, if you have a suggestion, we're really small enough and flexible enough that we can take suggestions from universities and be able to incorporate that and be very agile in our response. So I appreciate it very much. And I appreciate you all taking your time today, and glad we were able to connect. And let me know if I can help in any way.